It was completely silent. The cherry blossoms were dancing. It surprised me how lightly they moved, without making a single sound. Looking over the scenery, petals were falling from the dancing cherry trees, and as they fell onto the ground, they colored the entire world white, and they just kept dancing ever so lightly. Is this a dream? Oh, it's you! A girl was leaning against the trunk of a tree. The blooming cherry blossoms spread a terribly sweet smell in the air. She looked uneasy, as if the snow-covered scenery was to disappear at any moment. Her appearance was a bit different from what I knew, but it was definitely her. Sakura-san. Now you look more boyish with the short hair. Sakura-san smiled as mischievously as ever. You know, that's the impression I got the second her image showed. Just like, here she comes looking all mischievously. Sakura-san, is this a dream? It felt different than the dreams I usually saw. Felt like I was actually there myself, existing within the dream.
夢。これは僕の夢。君にね、話さなきゃならないことがいっぱいあるんだ。長くなりそうなんだけど、聞いてくれるかな?
Finally, gonna get plot-related answers? And just like, no, dream ends. Just like, fuck! Her eyes were serious. Seeing those eyes stained with a touch of sadness, I nodded.
まず最初に、ごめんなさい。今、八の島で起こってる事件は全部僕のせいなんだ。
I really didn't expect to hear that from her. Well, that's because you didn't think about any of these coincidences. You didn't really think about the whole situations. I knew for a fact that it had something to do with her. Well, I didn't know as a fact necessarily, because I still don't understand the plot. It's just like, from my perspective, for what I've seen the plot theory in my head, it's just like, yep, it's obviously connected to her. The tree is also connected in some way. Still don't understand that. But it was clearly like, when the pieces were coming together, it's like, it's clearly she has something to do with these incidents. And the way she's just like sorry all the time. Well, just the one time was enough to just be like, yep, those incidents are definitely connected. What do you mean?
枯れない桜。昔、ここに咲いてた桜にはね、本当に人の願いを叶える力があったんだ。正真正銘の魔法の木。人が人を大切に思う力を集めて、困っている人のために奇跡を起こす。願えば叶う。祈れば通じる。一人一人の力が足りなくても、たくさんの心があれば、みんなハッピーになれる。そんな夢みたいな桜の木があったの。でも、その桜は枯れちゃった。枯らしちゃった人がいたんだ。
Sakura-san looked like she was talking about something very dear to her. Could it be that Sakura-san knew the person who caused it?
魔法の桜にはね、致命的なバグがあったんだ。だから枯らさないといけなかった。そもそも、そんな力が間違っているのかもしれない。願いば叶う世界なんて、夢物語だもんね。でもね、僕はそんな夢があってもいいって思った。世の中には本当に困っている人がいるから、そんな人たちの力になれればいい。
You know, for some reason just picturing just like, in the real world, someone like her would be like, I just wanted to help people. There's so many troubled people in the world, so I decided to become a therapist.
バグを直せば、ちゃんと正しく動作するようにすれば、きっとみんな幸せになれるとそう思ったんだ。
This must be annoying to some of you viewers. Like, just like you want to like, just hear Sakura explain all these things. You're just like, shut up, idiot. Let's play a guy. We're trying to pay attention to the plot. But I'm just like, just piecing this all together in my mind at the same time. It's just like, so whatever she was doing with the computer is just like fixing the bug. That must have been what she was doing. But what was the bug, and how did she fix it?
だから、
Or did she?
僕はアメリカでずっとこの魔法の桜の研究をしていた。
As she was done saying that, Sakura-san looked up at the everlasting cherry tree.
でもね、そうやって僕がこの桜の研究をしてる間にも、外の世界では時間がどんどん流れちゃって、急にね、寂しくなったんだ。僕の大好きだった人たちはどんどん結婚して子供を作って幸せになっていくのに、僕は一体いつまで一人ぼっちでいなきゃならないんだろうって。そして本当はいけないことだったんだけど、アメリカで作ったこの枯れない桜のサンプルを初音島に持ち帰って願ったんだ。僕にも家族が欲しいですって。もしかしたらあったかもしれない現在のもう一つの可能性を見せてくださいって、そう願ったの。その願いから生まれたのが。
It seemed like she couldn't force the words out anymore, but she looked straight at me with eyes as blue as the clear sky. Then, I'm really Sakura-san's son? Dun dun dun! It's not like I hadn't suspected this. What? Even you knew that? I had a feeling myself that I didn't really expect her to be her son or anything, but I expected that Yoshiyuki's very existence possibly had something to do with the tree, and that it's like dreamlike in a way, something like that. Because the other routes, like when you get like a kind of bad end, I remember getting one, and it just seemed like, particularly was in Anzu's route and some of the well, in every route in general, when a cherry tree dies, it's like something noticeable happens and Yoshiyuki acts a bit weird for a while. It did feel like there was obviously some connection between him and the tree. I just didn't really understand my feelings. Sakura-san bit her lip and looked straight at the blooming cherry tree.
そう。君はこの桜の魔法が引き起こした奇跡。本来この世界には存在してはいけないもの。
Which explains why things go a bit haywire then when the cherry tree dies.
この桜の魔法が届く範囲だけでしか存在できない。
That also explains, like that one time when he's like goes on the skiing trip, how she gives him that necklace or wherever it was, because it was needed for him to, you know, exist. Otherwise, he'd probably just like maybe disappear if he's like not near the cherry tree's magic at all. Sakura-san looked like she was trying hard to endure saying it as indifferently as possible.
でもね、この桜はオリジナルと違う。純粋でささやかな願いだけじゃなくて、誰のどんな願いでも無差別に叶えちゃうの。
Ah, I see, that's how it is. Those incidents, the fires, all of them were wishes granted by this tree. Wishes to destroy those who had surpassed you. wishes born from anger, a desire to hurt someone else. I'd seen all those things in my dreams up until now.
最初はほんの一枝だったけど、この桜は人々の夢を集めて地面に根を張ってどんどん大きくなる。今までは僕が桜の力を制御してたけど、結局制御しきれなくなっちゃって、不幸な事件が起こるのを一生懸命止めようとしたけど、僕の力だけじゃ防ぎきれなかった。
Tears started rolling down Sakura-san's cheeks.
ごめん、本当にごめん。全部僕のせいで。
I see, the girl with the ribbon in those dreams was not Nay, it was Sakura-san. Which one is he talking about here? Is he talking about the dreams at the computer? Is he only just now just like... Wait, no. That wouldn't make sense. He didn't recognize that person at all. It was clearly Sakura. But Nay wasn't the only one desperately working to stop these incidents.
ママまだ小さな事故で済んでいるけど、制御するものを失ったらもっと多くの願いを無差別に叶え始めてしまう。そうなってしまったら大変なことになってしまう。だから桜を枯らせないといけないんだけど。
Ooh, so it was her that did that in every route then.
だけど桜を枯らしちゃったら義行くんは。
At that very moment, the words Otney had said came rushing back to me. Oh! Ooh, now it really is all coming together.
それは私が正義の魔法使いだから。困ってる人がいたら助けてあげる正義の魔法使い。
Sakura-san, did you tell Otney about that?
この島の人たちを助けるために桜を枯らさなきゃならないって。だけどすごく悩んでて。
That's got to be why. It's the reason she suddenly started avoiding me and shut me out of her heart. I guess she couldn't really ask me about it, huh?
ごめんね。
Well, it makes sense now, doesn't it?
全部僕が悪いんだ。僕のわがままで島のみんなに迷惑をかけて、乙女ちゃんと義行くんにもこんなに辛い思いをさせて、みんなを不幸にして。
Sakura-san bit her lips in dismay and buried her nails deep into the tree's trunk.
ごめんなさい。僕が余計なことさえしなければ。
Sakura-san kept apologizing, seemingly ignorant of the tears that were running down her cheeks. Ah, man. Hey, Sakura-san. Calling that something stupid is a bit much, don't you think? It has probably caused the islanders a lot of trouble, and it might have been something that shouldn't have been done, but I'm grateful, because it's all thanks to Sakura-san that I exist at all. I was very happy. I said that full of self-confidence.
義行くん。
Even if it was just a short time for an ordinary person. I'm glad that I got to have a family, a little sister, friends, and someone very important to me. I'm really grateful that you allowed me this precious time. So, thank you. Mom, as I said that I embraced the crying Sakura-san, my emotions were overflowing ever stronger. With her eyes red from all the crying, Sakura smiled as she continued to sob. I held her thin shoulders close for a while, committing her gentle warmth to my memory. and then I bade her my farewell. Well, I'd better hurry. I don't think Otne can settle this by herself. I slowly let go of Sakura-san. I wanted to stay with her longer. I wanted to talk to her about lots and lots of things, but that wouldn't happen. At the very least, I wanted to remember the face of the person who had given me life.
Sayonara, Yoshiyuki-kun.
Her last words to me were few, but I could understand her feelings completely. Yeah, I nodded slightly, and as all my emotions flooded my mind, that was my parting word for her. It was as if I had emerged from a dark, muddy swamp into an ocean of clear images. I could remember every single thing as if it had happened yesterday. It's okay, I was really happy. Even if all that was about to wither and disappear, just like a cherry tree. Even so, I was truly happy. Looking behind me, I saw a thick fog quickly catching up to me. You know, it makes perfect sense that he's like a creation from the cherry tree, because, I mean, when it's just like his memory, it just seems to be like introduced to Sakura and then introduced to the Sakura sisters. There is like no information on his parents. He never even thought, just like, about his parents and all that, wondered anything like that, never questioned it. It was obvious that something like this must have been the case. As soon as they opened my eyes, I rushed out of the room, still feeling like I was half asleep. Otne was probably crying. She can't settle this by herself, she'll be anxious and sad. She locked everyone out of her hut so they wouldn't notice it, but deep down inside she was crying out. So I guess I was also wrong about what's been bugging her, I suppose. I have to be there for her. Why? Because I promised her I would.
もし私が自分の役割に負けそうになったとしたら背中を押してくれる?
I will push her on. That's right, because I promise. Even if it's something painful, it still needs to be done no matter what. It's painful for both of us, but I will keep it up right until the very end. Told you it was at the tree, though. Otne stood alone at the base of the tree, which had still not awakened. She was looking up as though determined to do something, but she just couldn't seem to begin doing it. I knew that even if I couldn't reach out to her with words, I had to grab onto that flow of emotions in her heart. Otne. I called out to the tiny shape of a person by the base of the tree. Otne turned around to face me. I finally understand. Now I know why you've been avoiding me all this time. That's why you felt so tormented. You knew you had to kill the tree, but you couldn't do it. You can't hesitate, you dummy. You're a sorceress of justice. You have to do this in order to save everyone on the island. Her voice was cracking up as she finally let it out. Otne was crying like a baby. This was the first time I saw her innermost emotions like this. Otne! Otne stopped me as I was about to run up to her. What?
やだよ。やだ。選びたくない。このまま弟くんとずっと一緒にいるのがいいよ。この島でずっと。
You can't do that. Do you understand, right?
わかんないよ。
The tree has to die to save the people on his island. You're a magician of justice. It's the only choice you've got. What are we sorcerers of justice?
桜を枯らすってことは弟くんが死んじゃうってことなんだよ。どうしてそんなことできるのよ。
Otne. I smiled at her. I really love you, Otne. Upon hearing that, Otne seemed to lose all her strength. Everyone else loved this island, and everyone who lives on it. Well, maybe not everyone. I mean, the guy down the road, he's an asshole, but anyway, not to ruin the mood or anything. And you're the only one who can save them, Otne. You know that, right? Don't lose to your task. Look straight ahead, raise your chin and complete it. Otne just kept crying as she stood in front of the tree. I knew that it was cruel of me to ask her to do it. However, we knew from the beginning that we had no other choice. That is a pretty damn... I can't even think of what words to describe it, really. I mean, essentially, she has to kill the tree in order to prevent it from granting the dark wishes of other people on the island, which could lead to other people getting injured or worse. But in doing so, she will also kill the guy that she loves. So, shit. All that remained was for Otne to make her decision.
みんな、弟くんのことを忘れちゃうんだよ。一人ぼっちになって、すごく寂しい思いをすることになるんだよ。
Yeah.
そのうち、弟くんがそこにいることすらわからなくなっちゃうんだよ。
I understand.
分かってない。弟くんは何も分かってないよ。分かってないからそんな平気な顔して残酷なお願いができるんだよ。キスしたいとか、髪の毛に触りたいとか、手をつなぎたいとか、普通の恋人同士のお願いならいくらでも聞いてあげるのに、どうして最初のお願いがこれなの？こんなお願い聞きたくないよ。
You know, that's pretty morbid. I mean, think about it. Essentially, when he says to, like, just kill the tree to, like, save the island, it's more or less like saying, kill me. It's just like, that's... Yeah. But the tree has died in all other routes, and it's kind of continues on, so something obviously must happen that kind of resolves it. And I'm not sure if it'll be cleared up in this route, or if it'll be cleared up in Sakura's route that we get after clearing all the other routes, which is probably be when it's like revealed how that works, because it's still confusing and shut up and just focus. I'm sorry.
こんなに私を好きにさせて、なのにいなくなっちゃうんだから。
I'm so sorry. After hearing me say that, Otne quietly turned around.
弟くんは本当にずるい。私が絶対に弟くんのお願いを断れないこと。
You know, if that's the case, why did he ask her to tell him in the first place? Without turning back to look at me, she looked up at the giant everlasting cherry tree. Otne put her white hands up against the tree. Even though there was no wind, the tree's branches shook violently. The next second, it was as if the tree cried out in pain as all its petals were scattered all over the place. The petals swirled around as though in a terrible storm and colored the surrounding area pink. It was like a death cry. Almost instantly, it felt like I lost all my strength. Everything around me turned white and I couldn't move my hands or feet. It was as if though they were just artificial limbs and not flesh and bone. But they looked at me with a serene expression on her face, completely different from before.
何日持つかわからないけど、みんなあなたのことを忘れてしまうでしょう。もちろん私の記憶からも消えてしまいます。だってあなたはこの世には存在しない、存在してはいけないものだから。
But what about in the other routes? The cherry tree, like, it dies in every single route. It doesn't matter what route it is, every route has that happen. But now that I think about it, does anyone ever actually forget him in any of the routes? Like, throughout the whole thing? Because it has like the kind of epilogue feel to it, so obviously more than just a simple few days pass. In fact, weeks, months even, perhaps even years. So, obviously something must counteract it, and it's obviously got something to do with Sakura and possibly Junichi. The red eyes looked like they were about to tear up again. However, she held them back and tried to be calm. I'm sure it's taking all she's got right now. She'll probably break down once she leaves.
これでさよならです。
Otne then turned her back to me and I heard her walk away from me there. After that, all that was left were the piles of pink petals gathered up around the dead tree. I guess this is the end. The magic has been released and everything is going back to normal. The island would wake up from the dream the cherry tree had brought in.